Hello and welcome to Movers and Shakers. I'm Ken Miller. Today I'm joined by Lansing's Public Works Director, Mike Spickelmier. Mike, thanks for coming by today. All right, the reason why we're here, and it's a featured road project, you're going to know about this fairly shortly if you don't know about it already, but it's the Eisenhower and K7 project, an intersection project, slated to start in late May. First, a lot of people believe the project started last year, and they wouldn't be wrong, but utility relocation is what was happening last year on the outside of that project. Talk about that part of the prep for what's coming up this spring, summer, and fall.
Sure. This project's been going on for a little over 3 years from the time of its inception to the time of where we've arrived at today. Last year was primarily focused on utility relocation and property acquisition, and utility relocation did cause some inconvenience as we had some lane closures associated with that. But that is necessary for us to make the improvements now. We're getting the power lines removed farther west and higher. The fiber optic cable and telecommunications lines were put underground, as well as some power underground. And Kansas Gas had a gas line that had to be moved deeper and farther west. And there's also some water lines that are in that vicinity.
All right, so when does the project start up again? And we're recording this in the middle of May. But when are we going to see traffic control, all those cones, and actual physical work being done out there?
So the schedule presented by the contractor shows him beginning construction after Memorial Day, that Tuesday, the 31st of May. And you'll see some activity generally around there, but that's when the cones are scheduled to go up. As with every project, construction project, there's a lot of weather dependency. There's no sense in putting up cones if it's raining or they're going to be a little delayed. And so that will start the work on Eisenhower, and then the actual work on K7 is scheduled to start 2 weeks later in the middle of June. Again, weather depending. Just some things to take note of. It will continue for most of the summer, and there will be some times where you've got lane closures, both inside lanes, outside lanes, and there is a short window of potential full closure depending on how the contractor wants to phase it. Also, the entrances to Home Depot and Quick Trip along Eisenhower have 60-day closure windows that will be in effect. The intention is to keep both, not close both at the same time, but to close one and then close the other. But they do have a 60-day window in order to get that done, and that allows time for concrete to cure and such.
Right, and I think it's important to note that there will be access maintained to all businesses throughout the project. It's only some of those entrances, exits that are going to be closed at any given time.
That is correct. The car wash, Aldi's, Home Depot, Quick Trip, they will all have access through some means. It will be somewhat inconvenient in the normal, if you normally get access off of Eisenhower or sometimes K7, you may have to find a slightly different way to get to those businesses.
Okay, maybe the most important part of this interview from an information standpoint, if drivers want to avoid the intersection this summer, what are the best options when it comes to detour routes?
So the published detour route will actually take you down Kansas Highway 5. I know a lot of people don't like to use that route, and it also depends on where you're trying to go. If you're trying to get to the south side of Lansing, this project was phased in such a way so that we didn't impact when we did our DeSoto Road project 2 years ago. So DeSoto Road will still be open. The DeSoto Road speed limit is 40 miles an hour, same as Main Street, 40 miles an hour. There's not much delay taking DeSoto versus taking Main Street. So DeSoto Road is a great way to go north-south in Lansing to avoid that. If you're trying to get to Kansas City, K5 is available to you as well. And you'll see some posted detour signs, but we highly recommend you use DeSoto Road as a primary north-south route at this time.
Okay, and we've talked before, and it's been in the Lansing Connection, it's been throughout social media, and we will put it up again. But when this project is done, and hopefully that's going to be November of this year, what can people expect the project to accomplish once it is finished?
The primary focus of the project is both efficiency and safety. This is the busiest intersection in Leavenworth County when it comes to roads of this nature. So what you will expect is, for instance, there's a lot of people that find that you can't go west from traveling southbound on K7 right now. So if you're going southbound towards the southern end of Lansing or into Lansing, or you wanted to go west towards Dillon's or Walmart or some places that direction, you'll have a free-flowing right-hand turn lane. So there'll be 2 lanes going straight through the intersection, as well as a dedicated lane for right turn only. So that will allow some of that traffic that wants to make a right turn on red, the ability to affect that and hopefully improve the efficiency in that direction. The other one is for northbound traffic that also wants to go west on Eisenhower. We're going to add another turn lane. So right now you'll see sometimes when you're heading north on K7, especially in the afternoon queue, the queue will go past the lane that is designated for it and get into the other northbound lane. So when this is done, you'll have 2 left-hand turn lanes, 2 through lanes, and it'll move that faster. Also, we'll be making traffic signal improvements. We're adding designated left-hand turn lanes for east and westbound traffic on Eisenhower, so you'll have arrows now. And so really you're going to have a more efficient and safer intersection when this is all done.
Right, you're not going to see the stacking that you might see now during high peak times.
That's the intention, is to help alleviate some of that.
Okay, we mentioned this earlier in the interview, but according to the contractors meeting that we had earlier this week, what is the projected completion date? And I asked that realizing weather plays a role, but right now what's the projected completion date?
November 20th is the date that was articulated to us during the pre-construction meeting. That's within their schedule. It uses most of the time that is available to them. And it is our intention to have this done again before Thanksgiving. They're going to use most of their construction window. I think something else we didn't talk about, this will have a mill and overlay at the very end. So when you get out there, all of the pavement in this intersection will be replaced. So that will look and function a lot better as well.
Okay, to wrap it up, if citizens have questions both now or during the project, who should they contact and how can they do that?
Public Works Department this is a joint project between KDOT, City of Lansing and City of Leavenworth, but City of Lansing is the administrator of the project. So email at publicworks@lansingks.org or the general number of 727-2400 will get you in touch with the Lansing Public Works Department.
All right, I've been speaking with Mike Spickelmier. He is the Public Works Director for Lansing. We've been talking about the K7 Eisenhower intersection project. For Movers and Shakers, I'm Ken Miller.